Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Oh boy. Real talk with Yanni's talking again. Oh man. Wow. So for those of you that checked out the video and actually whoa. Um okay. Um actually worked your way through the video in actuality, you will see you will hear a lot. Oh boy. Yeah, once again we're talking about karmic energy and oh man. Whew, okay, frightening. Yeah, we're getting quotes from Sheir 7 such as act spoiled. I listened a little bit in and I realized why. As a matter of fact, let's do that first. Let's address that first. Um so this whole canceling of Sheir 7, first of all, I don't believe in this people really getting canceled. Um and I'm careful to cancel black people. Um, you know, yeah, there's a there. I'm careful on canceling black people. I will say that. I'm careful on canceling black people. Right. So there's number one. Number two, is Sheir 7 seriously going to be permanently canceled? Probably not. Women, black women especially, they need something to make them to hold on to. They need something to believe in. They need to, Sheir 7 just gives way too much um of that, like, very crass, very materialistic, very cold, very calculated and deliberate train tracks. She gives too much of that energy for her to truly be canceled. Women love listening to her because they like that she's cold and calculated and she's selfish and she appeals to them because some of them wish they had the ovaries to be just as overtly selfish as she is, and some of them are actually as overtly selfish as she is, and they love listening to her say it. So do I think Sheir 7 will be permanently canceled? No. Did she mess up a couple of brand deals? Maybe. I don't know what people expected of Sheir 7. Real Talk with Yanni played a couple of videos of other women speaking about Sheir 7 and essentially saying like what y'all expected, right? And they'll admit like they listen to her and they actually enjoy her, but in the same breath they'll say, yeah, but what you expected, this lady has let you know like this love thing is not real. She's about getting the bag, getting to the money. And I just want to say most of you ladies are. Y'all just don't got the ovaries to be as overt as she is because y'all know what putting out that, making sure that the world knows that you are about your money as a person that occupies a society, then as a black person, then as a black woman, oh, you're going to get what you get. Talk about karma, right? And so y'all don't got the ovaries to be as overt as she is. That's all. That's why y'all listen to her, because she tickles that inner part of you that wish you could say it and do it the way she does. That's why y'all listen to her, right? You just know that if you move and talk the way Sheir 7 did, then you couldn't practice plausible deniability when the ish turns around and bites you in the ass. That part. For those of you that want to know, Sheir 7 is apparently getting quote unquote canceled, which I don't believe. I really don't buy into this. Because of her kind of shrewd and dismissive comments about Palestine and about some issue with Starbucks and whatnot, and she just sounded like the white capitalist that she wished she was. Just like, yo, I'm about my money, sprinkle, sprinkle, like, And I agree with Real Talk with Yanni. Not everybody's built to be an activist. This is true. But there is something to be said about just being so dismissive and shrewd about genocide and about the struggles that other people might be facing when you're so dismissive. Because Yanni was like, what did she say was wrong? And obviously a lot of women copping, black women copping, please. She was just a little too dismissive. Am I saying that, because she's black, she's not getting a special layer of critique? Of course she is. Of course she is. But is it a black woman thing? No. Black women, y'all gotta stop doing this. Oh, y'all want black women to hold the mantle, to be the moral high ground. No, it's a black thing. Stop. This is what they do to black people, black women. I feel like other people get to move like this and talk like that. Black men say the same thing. They do it to with this activism thing. Black people are supposed to be the mascot in the face for other people's struggles. That's why they use the lingo from black civil rights movement for their own crap. Excuse me, crap. It's not a black woman thing. Dumbass. God. Listen to Yanni is like listening to the teacher scratch on a chalkboard. She just rambling so she don't got to go back to the struggle. And all you average sisters listen to her like she actually saying something. It's not a black woman thing. These other groups, particularly in America, see how successful the civil rights movement was, and they use the rhetoric and the lingo from the civil rights movement. And they demand that black people, say it again, Z, black people, one more again, Z, black people, namely ADOS people, back them in their causes because they know they need a mascot that actually has a more legitimate claim in America. It's not exclusively a black woman thing. Shut up. Jesus Christ. This is what passes for entertainment in the black woman sphere. What the hell is this? Who's one black women? It's not a black woman thing. It's a black people thing. You would know it and say it. If you weren't so hell-bent on perpetuating this echo chamber crap that black women are on social media. That is why y'all are out here looking dumb. Even when y'all not trying to do the intersectionality thing, y'all doing the intersectionality thing. Right? So yeah, Sheir 7 might have an extra layer of criticism on her. It's not even a might. Extra layer of criticism of her because she's black and she's not backing a certain cause and having a certain angle. Absolutely. Absolutely. But this is what comes with being the moral high ground. Black women, you don't get to be self-interested. Definitely not publicly self-interested. You don't get to be shrewd and calculated. Choose one. Either you embrace being the moral high ground and everything positive and negative that come with it, or you don't, and you embrace that and everything positive and negative that come with it. If y'all want to play this game and you follow Sheir 7 to the L, if you want to, right? Listening to y'all Sheir 7, her selfishness and self-centeredness, and then say, yeah, I listen to her anyway. Well, okay then. Then you wonder why she got canceled. Just too dismissive of the others. Just a smidge too dismissive. So there's that. Okay. Going back to Real Talk with Yanni, let's just get to the meat and potatoes and the good first, and then we'll work our way through the other stuff later. Broke people shouldn't even be having sex. Broke people shouldn't even be having sex. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So black people really, and that's the black people that even have any wham, really started making any type of real money, what, in the 60s, the 70s? And once again, that's for the people that have a couple of nickels to rub together. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. We already got black women Barely 60 years out of Jim Crow on paper. Barely 50 and 60 years out of Jim Crow. Saying people shouldn't even be having sex. And what about if you have kids? These are black people, y'all. We need white eugenicists. We're talking about black people, black women. Oh my God. Who needs Margaret Sanger? What? Women like Yin and Christy and Cynthia G. Oh, who needs her? No people shouldn't even be having sex. You quote a little the numbers changed a little bit. That the median household income is $1,000 a year. You just quoted that. It's actually 74,000 a year in another way. Yanni, you just quoted that. Yanni, you want to put on your big girl panties and grow a pair of ovaries and tell half of America they shouldn't be having sex and shouldn't have children? Oh, I'm borging? My bad, y'all. Can you guys hear me now? Now, maybe now, maybe now, maybe now, maybe now. Right? Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Okay, continuing. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you guys can. But yeah, as I was saying, so dear Yanni, you want to put on your big girl panties and grow some ovaries and tell half of Americans that they shouldn't be having sex and they definitely shouldn't be having children? As I said before, I don't know if you guys caught this. I don't know when I started borging, but you yourself recently, you quoted a number that was accurate at one point. The numbers changed a little bit. Half of Americans earn half of American households, earn $67,000 a year. By the way, now it's $74,000 a year. Yes, so the median household income in America is $74,000 a year. That's not a lot of money, Yanni. Some would consider that broke, Yanni. So are you saying that these people shouldn't be having sex, shouldn't be having children, shouldn't be starting families? Huh? Shout out to PK Angel. Because he said it and I agreed. You let women talk long enough and that eugenics language just start falling out their mouth. They can't help it. And then they wonder why they're in a waiting line for the rich men. Right? That's why them rich guys is playing y'all and using y'all and passing y'all around. Because they know you in a waiting line for them. Why can't take me an arrogant rich man? Yes, you will. You don't got no choice, especially if you sound like Yanni. Wow. Poor people shouldn't even be having sex, y'all, let alone have kids and a family. Let alone get... And by the way, dear black community, dear black men, you want to know why the abortion rate in the black community is so high? You want to know what 20-some-odd million black children are since the 1970s? You want to know where? Huh? Anybody want to wonder how the Latino community surpassed the black community as the largest minority group? Well, Real Talk with Yanni got an answer for you. Right? Huh? Poor people shouldn't even be having sex. Sex costs money. Yanni is making money mainly off of YouTube. And listen to her already. You want to know where that B. Simone mindset come from? Huh? The contempt these people have for average people, average men, the contempt they have. Who needs Milton Friedman? Who needs Adam Smith? Who needs Frederick Hayek? Who needs them? Who needs Ayn Rand when you have Chrissy and Yanni and Cynthia G and Lexus Exodus? Who needs them? Remember, black women. Who needs them? Mm-hmm. Wow. Now, Yanni goes on to speak about karmic energy. Oh boy, yeah, we're there. Yeah, we're there. We're there. Mm-hmm. Karmic energy and right and karmic debt. Oh boy, right? She speaks about pretend like you're high maintenance and pretend like you're used to it, which is essentially, and she said it, act spoil, which she got from Sheir 7, right? If you act spoil, then the men will think that you are, so you pretend like your daddy, your father had you living this lush ass life, and then if you act like that, then the men will think your potential suitors or boyfriends or whoever, the guys that are dating you or attempting to date you, will pick up on that, and the broke ones won't approach, right? And the ones that have the funds or that will have the funds like tomorrow, they will, and they'll rise to the occasion. Here's the problem, ladies. How many of you are right now complaining that men aren't approaching anymore? Uh-oh. Real talk with Yanni, you are getting your wish. Oops. Like I said, you see how this wraps back around? Like I said, that's why y'all are in waiting lines for the rich dudes. Right? That's why y'all are in waiting lines for the rich dudes. I did not know that. And from Africa I came says, by the way, you're streaming on top of the head right now, Z. Oh, my bad. I did not realize that. Right? Huh. That's why y'all are in waiting line for the upper middle class dudes, the rich dudes, and the wealthy guys. And that's why they act like assholes, Yanni. That's why they do. Because they know this is what y'all think about average men and regular men. Because you say it to them. If you don't believe me, go ask Drake. Oops. Right? Huh. Act spoiled. First of all, Yanni, I don't know about the white dudes or whatnot, but black men already know y'all pretending. Dear black women, that whole act spoiled thing, yeah, it's an act and we know it. We can smell it. Real talk with Yanni. I don't know where you from exactly, but Mr. Z is from Dade County, Miami-Dade County. I could smell a pretender woman, not even just black women. I could smell y'all pretending. Yeah, I'm used to this lifestyle. No, you're not. Right? No, you're not. Act spoil. Yawn. Right? Sounds nice. Right? And you admitted you got it from Sheir 7. Right? So Yanni goes on, and by the way, so for those of you that I didn't do this the right way, so let's go through it. Yanni is reviewing a video of a young lady. She looks Latina, who is dating a guy. She looks like she really likes him. That's broke, right? Or he doesn't have money like that. So he has his own place. She has her own place. And they're going out, and she says she's the one who has to front the bill all the time, et cetera, et cetera. And, right now she's not financially in the best place like she used to be. And so she's asking the internet for advice. Wrong. And obviously the women are chiming in. Oh boy, you opened your relationship up for the internet. Whoo! And for women, whoa. And even black women, to critique. That wasn't a smart move. Okay, fine. And so Yanni gives her take. Oh boy. And as Yanni's speaking, this is where she starts to critique this young lady. And she kind of mocks this young lady for being, for having chemistry with this man, right? Um, and once again, a very neoliberal lens at which she's viewing men from. Yanni sounds every bit as shrewd and cold and calculated as any Milton Friedman interview you ever heard. Right? Like when I say, dear black women, women in general, dear black women, black men's goal is not to date a XX chromosome chocolate dip white capitalist man. I mean it. If we wanted to do that, we would be gay. Yanni sounds every bit as cold and calculating as these people sound in their cigar smoke filled rooms when they speak about poor people having children. I want us to remember, Mr. Z is talking about a black woman. A black woman is out here sounding just as pretty much sounds like how y'all hear not Milton Friedman, Elon Musk, right? Yep. God forbid y'all introduce Yanni to Charles Murray in the bell curve. We going straight to Nazi land. And Adric says, I think that young lady on social media wanted to enter a relationship. And it's possible, right? She's in a relationship where she really likes the guy, he's charismatic, and she's looking for people to validate for her why she should end things with a guy she actually likes because his money ain't right now. Which only emphasizes the point for us that women ain't built for when they say no struggle love, they mean it. And fine, then be single and probably maybe possibly be single indefinitely. Oh well. Right? Oh well. Yanni goes on to say he's acting incompetent. He got it, but he know you gonna take care of him. Ho ho ho. For someone who literally said, and I don't recall if it was this video or the video where she was reviewing Sheir 7 being quote unquote canceled on the internet. But she spoke of the median household income being $67,000 a year, which it was at one point. Now it's $74,000 a year. Real talk when Yanni spoke of that, right? But here, Real Talk with Yanni seems to be having a difficult time processing the current state of the economy and what that means for relationships in general, particularly black relationships, or at least here, I guess, urbanized relationships, because this is Latina, right? And so now we get into the conversation about this man, this faceless man acting incompetent, right? And for those of you that missed it, there was a trend, was it last year or the year before, where a bunch of women were speaking about their boyfriends and their husbands weaponizing their incompetence, right? So in other words, he knows better, he knows what to do, he knows how to do it, he don't want to do it, he's a lazy bum, so he's pretending like he don't know, right? And so he weaponizes his incompetence so that he doesn't become the greatest man he can possibly be. He's a lazy bum and he doesn't want to try, so et cetera, right? So Yanni's saying, pretend like you're high maintenance and pretend like you're used to it. I spoke on that earlier. She called it low maintenance mentality. She told a young lady, "You're not Mother Teresa." Wow, y'all. This, woo, man. If I'm not mistaken, Yanni's what, 30, 31 years old. So a younger millennial, young millennials and Gen Z. I'm making it a habit to apologize to y'all every chance I get. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Woo. Yeah. Frightening. Right. Frightening. Right. Y'all give me a second. Okay, we're back. Um, but yeah, no, that, whew, okay. All right. Um, when we're in the world where black women are saying poor people shouldn't have sex, and we're only a couple generations out of Jim Crow, about 50, 60 years, 50 some odd years, 60 years out of civil rights laws being taken up, and Jim Crow laws and rules and statutes being stricken down throughout America. And still to this day, you will hear about some obscure law, some obscure statute that was just recently stricken down, even now, right? And in this environment, oh my God, you know, in this environment, hyperinflation putting its foot in everybody's ass. Real talk when Yanni's talking like this, right? Number one. Number two, you know, a few streams ago, a few lives ago, Jason Black spoke of, and he was speaking to women essentially and telling them, hey, your man trying to get you the average home, put down payment on your average car, and da da da, it's going to kill him. It's going to kill him. And, you know, the inner softy in Z heard Jason Black say that and say, yeah. And I wonder how women feel about that. And when you hear Real Talk with Yanni talk, and when you go through her comments, yeah, those women are with it. Hurry up, work yourself to death and move out of my way. Hurry up, work yourself to death, get me this house, get me this car. Make sure you leave, make sure you sign my name for that life insurance and die and move out the way. Y'all wonder why Sheir 7 doing numbers. Woo! Right? Man. And y'all, 1 second. And we're back. So, um, yeah, yeah, they're perfectly okay with you dying, working yourself to death and being out of here by 55, 60, 65 years old. Just make sure you have the type of home insurance where when you die, it pays off the house. Make sure you leave her a nice chunk for her and the kids when you die. Right? Uh-huh. Bruh, these women don't know love no more, bro. You want to know why the R&B music sound the way it do now? They're gone, man. Shout out to the Rogish sons. Shout out to Rogish. They belong to the mainframe. They belong to the game. They're gone. Dear white men, come get your daughters. I mean the white ones, the black ones, the Latina ones, and the Asian ones. Come get them. You wanted to turn these women into different versions of you, and you got it. You got it. From Sheir 7 to Cynthia G to Chrissy to Paris to Lexus Exodus to Real Talk with Yanni to Bowser. Just different versions of you. Right? And Nema says, Sheir 7 appeals to the subliminal psychosis that black women struggle to keep a lid on. The mask is constantly slipping. Bruh, you said a word because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Right? Man, frightening. When I heard Yanni say it, and it's like, well, we heard Chrissy pretty much say similar. Cynthia G was about aborting black male babies. Real Talk with Yanni is saying this now. Man, you let, obviously, once women start earning just a couple of dollars, namely in this case, black women, once they start earning just a couple of dollars, they start telling you, yeah, genocide all the poor people. Poor people shouldn't be having kids. Move out my way, right? What Uncle Ruckus said, we over here breathing the white man's air. Well, black women apparently are saying the same thing. Goddamn, Z. Black women with a couple of dollars are saying, hey, y'all breathing up us middle class, upper middle class, rich and wealthy people's air. Die and move out the way. Right? Die and move out the way. Poor people shouldn't be having sex, which means poor people shouldn't be having children. Yanni, how many generations are you out the hood? 2? 1? 3? Imagine having that mindset. Poor people shouldn't be having sex. Imagine if your grandparents thought that, or your great-grandparents thought that. Would you even be here? Let's assume your parents were middle class. Right? Whew, this is frightening. Right? Black women sounding like this. Black women. Right? Paris Milan dancing on Terry Nichols' grave. Real Talk with Yanni over here telling you poor people shouldn't be having sex. Chrissy mocking 50-50 relationships. Right? Essentially saying the same thing as Yanni. Cynthia G talking to you, telling you abort black male babies, and she is trying to destroy the black community. The little thrown off chick that O'Shea Duke Jackson covers all the time, telling you all black men are dusty. Huh? Lexus Exodus calling y'all all type of nignogs. Woo. Who needs the racist 14-year-old edgelord white boy when we have these people? When we have these quote unquote black women that occupy the same community as you, unfortunately. Samuel Norton, Sam, you're killing me right now. Sam, you see what I'm saying? And Samuel Norton says, Dear Yanni, Schindler's List was a warning, not a how-to video. Right? And that's how all of them are. Like, so once again, you put a microphone in front of these women, right? You put a microphone in front of them, you put a camera in front of them, you let them talk long enough, and we end up in Auschwitz. Or we end up on a eugenicist table somewhere in America in the 1930s and the 1920s. You let them talk long enough, and you would think we part of the Eugenics Society or something. Talking about stock and pruning and whatnot. Right? Low IQ and feeble-minded. You let them talk long enough, that's where we're going to end up. Huh? Right? We start talking about imbecilic and which I thought Mr. Z didn't know. I know. We start talking about imbecilic and pruning and which people are of great stock, and we start talking about not even IQ and intelligent coefficient. We actually start using the words. Huh? And as you can see here, the black race is a childlike race, very feeble-minded, not capable of much. They are to be subservient to the white race, and maybe we can shepherd them into maturity. What we're doing is for their betterment. Huh? You put a microphone in front of Chrissy, in front of Yanni, in front of Bowser, in front of Cynthia G, and that's what it starts to sound like. Sheir 7, that's what it starts to sound like. Princella, that's what it starts to sound like. Men aren't good people. Right? That's what it starts to sound like. Right? What's this other lady name that watched something from her earlier today? Where does she go? I'm gonna tell you her name right now because I covered her before. Oh yeah, the Sovereign Woman. Yeah, the Sovereign Woman sounds like Sheir 7. Use men for what you can use them for. Stay the hell away from them. Sounds like Princella. Right? These people want to resurrect Milton Friedman and ask him, how did you come up with this great trickle down economics and Reaganomics? Neoliberalism, we love it. Seeing people, men, black men, as nothing but resource providers, commodifying everything, even other human beings. I love it. Right? Man. So, I hear you. I hear you. You know what? Yeah. Right? She said, act spoiled. Man, if you don't get the entire hell out of here. Act spoiled. Nobody believes you, bro. Right? Like that act spoiled sounds cute until you realize that black men are your brothers and your cousins and your uncles and your fathers and your nephews and your sons. Yeah. Right? Act spoiled. How are you gonna act spoiled and act like your father gave you everything when I was your next door neighbor? Right? Let me get this right. Oh, Steph Co told you Her dad was always there for her, always encouraged her, always there. Oh, Steph, go right now. Single is a loose leaf paper. Well, will you look at that? Huh? Huh? Well, will you look at that? Huh? I could name you all the black women who dad was part of their life or who grew up upper middle class and they still got next level contempt for black men, or they don't end up with a black man, which pretty much shows that you have next level contempt for black men. H. Escalade, oops. Huh? Uh-oh. Amanda Marianne, what you doing? Ooh. Madison Brown, yikes. Act spoiled. Man, if you don't get out of here. Right? Y'all don't do it because you don't think we're deserving. You don't think black women are deserving. No. Have you ever considered people just don't got it like that? That includes the white boys. That's why when y'all end up with the white boys, y'all pretty much end up with the extra average white dudes. Have you ever considered that? Huh? For real talk with Yanni to say, and this lets you know, like half the time these people just be talking out their ass. You said the median household income was $67,000 a year. You need to update that a little bit. It is $74,000 a year now. But okay, let's go with that. $74,000 a year. And then you turn around and say broke people shouldn't be having sex. If the median household income is $74,000 a year, and we know men earn more than women in America. So essentially, give or take, that's a man earning $40,000 a year and his wife or girlfriend earning $35,000 a year. The $40,000 a year man isn't exactly balling, real talk with Yanni. So are you saying he shouldn't be married? He shouldn't have children? He shouldn't procreate? He shouldn't have sex? Y'all want to know why the birth rate is so low in America? Goddamn. Why the marriage rate is so low in America? Well, damn, Z. Right? Well, will you look at that? Demetrius says, and thank you for the super chat, Z, Kidology just came out the closet. Sent link. Oh, y'all want me to say my phrase? Y'all want me to say it? I said it! Oh, man. Look, I don't got no problem with Kidology. I don't have no problem with Kidology. But once you started seeing her struggle, and she kind of tacitly really did somewhat kind of sort of admit that she's somewhat of a femcel, and she was struggling in the dating world, right? She's not culturally black enough for the black Brits, and the white dudes is pretty much using her as a personal jack-off machine. And then she had been celibate for a little while. There's only one place to go after that. There's only one. Y'all gotta, man, I'm not saying I am Negro Dumbest. Shout out. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. Shout out to Sergeant Willie Pete. I'm not calling myself Negro Dumbest. But ladies, this road only, like, come on. This is predictable is what I'm saying. It's predictable. Princella is predictable. The radical feminists were saying that how many decades ago? It's predictable. You see it happening in South Korea right now. When I say get your Rolls toy and be single, right? Go fight another woman for her husband, or enter into a same-sex loving relationship, get in line behind other women for the rich dude. I'm not making that up. That's not coming from nowhere. Earth, don't make me say it. I'm gonna say it. Earth says she mid. That's why a lot of those Brits are mid. I know she's not originally Brit, if I'm not mistaken, when she's from South Africa, right? Originally, right? But she's okay looking enough to be in a relationship and to maybe be married. But call a thing, man. You just socially awkward, and you find yourself in an unenviable position where, once again, right, where you're not black Brit enough for the black Brits, and then you know the white dudes are the white dudes. Even in Britain, the white dudes are the white dudes. So, well, so whoopsie. Y'all give Mrs. E 1 second. Well, yeah. Demetrius said kidology just came out the closet. Well, Saint Cyr and GC, y'all killing me. Y'all killing me. Right? Ugh. But look, real talk with Yanni. Predictable, ma'am. Predictable. Joe said, like clockwork, man, I'm telling you. And for real talk with Yanni to be speaking the way she is, poor people shouldn't be having sex. I cringe when I hear working class, working poor, lower middle class people say that, namely black people. And I cringe in general when I hear black people say that, regardless of class, regardless of education. I don't care. Even black immigrants and children of black immigrants, I cringe when I hear black people from anywhere on planet Earth talk like this. Because you must not know your history, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you're Afro Latino or Latina, whether you're from the continent, whether you're ADOS FBA, whether you're in Canada, Europe, Australia. Whenever black people start talking like this, I'm like, do you realize what you're saying? On this planet, with this planet's history, and black people's recent history with the Europeans, with the Arabs, right? With the indigenous people of America, with East Asians, with South Asians, are you sure you want to be saying that? Huh? Poor people shouldn't be having sex. Real talk with Yanni, you sure with America and American history? You sure you want to say that? Maybe you never heard of the Eugenics Society. Huh? Maybe you don't realize where Hitler got a lot of his ideas from. Ooh, Z. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Maybe you don't realize who Hitler got a lot of his ideas from and who they were practicing that on. Poor people shouldn't be having sex. Imagine a black woman saying poor people shouldn't be having sex. Huh. Y'all, hey, to get at men, to get at black men, to quote unquote uplift women, to quote unquote encourage women, y'all be talking real reckless, real ignorant of history, huh? Is this a precedent you want to set, Yanni, or do you want to maybe take a few steps back? You might want to reel that back a bit. And as we all says, real talk with Margaret Sanger. Real talk with Goebbels. Oh man, right? Trail, stop. Trail, kill me. Right? Oh man. Look, when you're not a student of history, or maybe even if you are, if you don't really understand and comprehend the impact of that history, Detroit, I even gonna read it out loud. Right? Man, I read that other one too, Trail. Damn. Oh, which is crazy because a song hit me in the head this morning, and I played it like back to back like 2 times, and it was Madonna's Borderline, right? And like the fact that Trail just said that, the song popped up in my head again. Madonna's Borderline, for you youngins, y'all don't even know what song that is, right? But yeah, so the fact that Trail said that, the song popped up in my head again. Oh, hysterical, right? Man, this is frightening, y'all. It's frightening to have like the black women in this sector, in this space that's doing numbers, they keep getting real. As much as they like to act like they're not like Cynthia G, they keep getting real close to some of her rhetoric. They getting real close. Now, mind you, because they saw what happened with Cynthia G, I doubt they're ever going to say it that explicitly, or better yet, they're not going to get caught saying that explicitly. They might say something and delete that video later, delete that live later. But Paris, Chrissy, now Yanni, real close. Real close. Sheir 7, right? So whenever we allow these women to speak for long enough, they get inches close to some of that eugenics language and genocide language and raising your stock language, huh? We start sounding like the portrait curse of Ham, right? And I see y'all saying, yeah, she was a fan of Cynthia G. Well, huh? Not surprised. Not surprised. Whew. Look, from Sheir 7, predictable, to Kidology, predictable. And to tell y'all the truth, because I know, at least from what we could glean from what Yanni has said, Yanni grew up as an around the way young black girl, now woman, right? And she doesn't necessarily come off as elitist or wanna be elitist as Bowser and Chrissy. So Mr. Z although I'm not surprised or shocked by this, if it was any one of them I would have thought wouldn't have gone this close, I would have said her. So there's just a smidge of disappointment. Just a smidge. Right? It is one of those you should know better. Right? But once again, B. Simone, Real Talk with Yanni, they get a couple of dollars, then they tell you who they can't settle for, who they can't be around, bad energy, this. Right? The demons on this man, and and I'm a millionaire. I can't be with no 9 to 5, and broke people shouldn't be having sex. Hey, B. Simone, that was another round the way chick. Get a couple of dollars, telling you with these lower ass men. Real Talk with Yanni, same thing. You want to know why the population of South Korea hit a roadblock? Japan, roadblock. America, white women, black women, second, third generation of Latinas, same thing. When I say second and third generation American Latinas, same thing. Once these women get their education and make a couple dollars, then they start telling you, hey, that child thing, yeah, I'm gonna need me a rich dude. And then act surprised when the rich dude act like the asshole he's supposed to be. Z, did you just say that? Yeah, to you, ladies? Absolutely. If I have a waiting line behind me of women that are with me simply and only and exclusively and primarily, some of those words contradict each other, but go with it. Right? And Better You says, I'm on the second video you tagged me in. By the way, for those of you who haven't checked out my community tab, I want to actually do a review with it. Better You, if you want to jump on that, we can too. I want to do a review with Roguish. Better You, definitely, if you want to come up, of the Moon Channel put out this. It's pretty much like a 2-part, damn near 3-hour long. Actually, is it even a little bit more than that? 3-hour long, kind of docu video of South Korea and the gender war in South Korea, and I can see parallels, and I don't know if you can see them too, Better You, but I can see parallels of what's going on in America, particularly amongst black people, and what's going on in South Korea. Right? Yeah, so and GC says excuse me, I'm saying this wrong. I finished part 1 and I got halfway through part 2. Yeah, man. Look, and wait, GC, wait until you get to like, what minute mark was that? Here we go. Because I knew where he was gonna go from like halfway through the first one. I knew well, let me say that. I didn't know. I had a good idea of where the blame should be laid. And I'll give y'all a hint. I'm not gonna say too much. Y'all know Mr. Z's a leftist. So there you go. That's my hint. Right? That's my hint. Although that dynamic is even more exaggerated over there than it is over here. If you don't understand what Mr. Z is saying, you'll get it within the last third of the second video. You'll get it. Right? Joseph, it's always Jermaine's fault. Right? Better You says, I'm game, bro. Just let me know when it's interesting, bro. Yeah, no. So we'll set a time for that. We'll set a time for that. I'll get in contact with you and Rogish, and we'll Yeah. Oh yeah, GC said Korean dudes is way more hardcore than black men when it comes to the gender war stuff. Yeah, they actually get the women fired. And the simps and the placater dudes, oh they on their ass. We on the internet critiquing and giving showing our righteous indignation. Oh no, the South Koreans are South Korean men? Nah, somebody gonna get fired. Choose one. Right? Somebody going to have to step down. Someone. Right? Yeah. But back to the topic at hand. Look, yeah. So I'm gonna end out in a couple minutes. This is predictable. As I said, I'm a smidge disappointed in Yenny here, and I'm not coming from a patronizing place, right? Why I don't intend for this to come from a patronizing place, but it still is a bit disappointing because as a black woman who, at least from what we can see, is around the way, just around the way black women, of course, it's the bar is in hell, the bar is in hell. I expect her to say a couple of misandrous things. The bar is in hell. But once you start getting close to it, not even close, once you start spotting some of that white elitist crap, once you start getting close to this kind of Darwinism talk, right? Jason, GC, they are old school, patriarchal, and petty. Bruh, the South Korean dudes is no joke. Man. Which is crazy because y'all know Mr. Z. I used to listen to. I was into K-pop like way before all these what's the group they heavy on right now. But actually, I was listening to them when they first came out. Actually, but so I already kind of knew some of the dynamics of this. That's why, like I've said before, me and the nameless protagonist spoke about this both in Japan and South Korea. But the music, if for any of y'all that know about K-pop, it really is that poppy. K-pop, yeah, you got K-dramas, you got K-ballad music and stuff like that. Yeah. But the majority of the charting music in South Korea, and definitely the songs that go global and like blow the charts up across the planet, are super poppy. They're super upbeat. They're super quote unquote positive, and there's dance routines and dances that are associated with them. And if you have a surface level understanding of that, you would never know this stuff is going on in South Korea. BTS, yeah, Demetrius. Yes, thank you. I was listening to BTS when they first came out, but then I kind of dropped K-pop as it just became way too repetitive, and like it just way too formulaic. That's the word I was really looking for. And yeah, like if you think hip hop has become way too formulaic and repetitive and et cetera, then you really can't do K-pop for too long, right? But you would never know of and y'all will see it when y'all get there, but of the depression, right? The morbid feeling of many young people in South Korea if you just listen to K-pop. Just poppy and upbeat and high tempo and yeah, nope. Right? And Afro National says, shout out to BGS. I had no idea feminism was strong in Korea. Yeah, but any quote unquote advanced economy and quote unquote advanced society, right? Now, because of culture and heritage and history, it will have a different iteration of this thing. But yeah, we're all marching down this road, just in slightly different ways. Once again, like BGS has said about Africa and some of the developing nations in Africa, different cultural context, right? And it's limited by the infrastructure of your society. But as your society industrializes, or even if it jumps into the digital age, yeah, these things are just gonna pop up. They're just gonna pop up, right? and they're going to manifest in different ways, but yeah, they're going to pop up, right? And then you too can have a community like the black community where the black women start talking eugenics and genocide talk, right? Come on down, right? You too can have a segment of black women or your own women talking about genocide and eugenics and Dusty and yeah, Nick cells and huh? And wait a minute, I know you ain't talking about not getting no ass. Real talk with Yanni. I know the celibate woman, at least last time I checked, ain't talking about not getting no ass. For those of you that didn't check it out, she was trying to mock the men. I guess some men were going at the Latina lady, young lady, and saying that she was trying to use this dude for his money and she's a gold digger. And I didn't get gold digger vibes from her, but either way, and Yeti got to take her jabs in. So, and she'll be here saying, the men that don't get no ass, and the men that don't this, and the men that's not getting the draws, and I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot to mention that earlier, because when I first heard her say that, I'm like, I know Miss Celibate, Miss Decenter Men, Miss throwing a temper tantrum just in an adult way, if you call that adult. I know you ain't talking. I know Miss Rose Toy ain't talking. Miss Self Pleasure. I'm not saying she ever said that, but she's getting the pleasure somehow. Exactly, better you. I know, Miss. What's the incentive? I know you ain't talking about who not having sex. You imagine? You spent the better part of the last year or so, right, on this, and it might be a little bit less than a year on this decenter man. How long you been celibate? You literally, you, real talk with Yanni, you spoke of one of your homeboys that you was kind of feeling putting you on ice. You had the vagina open for him and he put you on ice. You said that. Now, I don't recall how recent this is, but you said that. So I know you ain't talking about who not getting no ass. No, Demetrius, don't tell me that. And Demetrius says she talks about her rose and dildo all the time. All the time. What? Ooh, rest in peace, Kevin. Ooh, you can't make this up. Now, what does Mr. Z always say? Real talk with Yanni. It shouldn't be this easy. Yanni, it shouldn't be this easy. I poke fun at some of you sisters. Yes, I do. I mock fun of y'all. Yes, I do. I lambast y'all. Yes, I do. Mr. Z will admit that. But y'all cannot be this goddamn predictable. It shouldn't be this easy for y'all to be this goddamn predictable. Kidology, Chrissy, Real Talk with Yanni, Bowser, Cynthia G, y'all can't. I say things. The mental calculator is going off. I say things. And then y'all either say it later or y'all live it out, and then we find out that what Mr. Z said was true, or I got it right. And by the way, I'm not saying that to say I have some crystal ball or the reason why y'all hear me speak of myself pretty humbly It's because I'm thinking I'm probably wrong. I might be being a bit too hyperbolic. And then kidology, same-sex loving relationship, or at least now she's coming out the closet. And if what Demetrius told us about Yenny is true, because I don't ever remember her saying anything like that. So if what you're saying is true, well, there you go. Demetrius said walking into the punches and shit. I'm saying. And Detroit says, yeah, she did talk about it. Come on, man. Demetrius says she be advertising it to her fandom. Bruh. Come on. Look. No wonder you talking about decenter men. That was toy getting you off. Boy, that thing got you hypnotized, don't it? You put it right where it need to be. No wonder. Oh man. Oh, that's frightening. By the way, ladies, I'm not supposed to be this right. I'm not saying that from an arrogant place. Maybe I need to rephrase that. You shouldn't be this predictable. There we go. You shouldn't be this predictable. Right? Dear Jess, shout out to wherever you are. Last time we spoke, it wasn't contentious, so I'm not going to make fun of you. Shouldn't be this predictable. Jess, I listened into that Selkish Ray live and see that you said either you got fired or you got let go or you quit or however that went. That stress is real, ain't it? Huh? She said she found a new place already, though. So, you know, well wishes to her. Yeah, Buckeye fan. Yes. And Buckeye fan says Sheir 7 is getting backlash for not wanting to boycott Starbucks over their genocide against the Palestinians. And if you hear her dismiss, and dear women, black women, there is a limit to your hyper, crass, rude, in your face self-interest and selfishness. Right? And how dismissive, and it's, by the way, real talk with Yenny, it's frightening as a black man for you as a black woman to say you don't see what the issue is with what Sheir 7 said. I'm not saying that black people, that includes black women, should be walking around with the waving the banner for every group of people on planet Earth that has a particular plight. I'm not saying that. I am saying that as the group of people that America, namely the left, uses as the moral arbiters, even if they don't really believe it, when a black woman steps out of line, oh, I said it, and not just shows a certain level of selfishness and self-interest, but is dismissive of the plight of others. And then adds her tagline, sprinkle, sprinkle at the end. You're trying to tell me you don't see the problem with that? Oh, other women get to do it. Otherwise, go ask Becky. I heard you. Go ask Becky. Why y'all always asking black women? First of all, once again, it's not a black woman thing, it's a black thing, but okay. Go ask Becky. Yenny, you trying to get canceled? You're literally oh my god, y'all don't even learn from each other. Real talk with Yenny. Yenny, listen. Paris Milan had to take down her post that she posted on her community chat mocking black men when Russia and the Ukraine situation first popped off. She had to take it down because Ukrainians and other white folks, non-Ukrainian white folks, were ripping black women in her comment section and ripping Paris Milan to shreds because she misrepresented what was going on in Ukraine and why the Ukrainian men were fighting. They were conscripted, they were drafted, right? And Paris Milan used that as an opportunity to dig at black men, and then white people got on her ass. And you didn't even learn from that. Clearly, Sheir 7 didn't either. Demetra said, Z, you're thinking too hard, Z. Right? Man. Oh, you know it. Me and my best friend have this conversation sometimes, and we're like, we make it too damn easy for the elites. the elites, the muhaha guys, the real muhaha guys. I know some of y'all feel the same way. There's no way y'all don't. When you talk to some of y'all brothers, your cousins, your sisters, your aunts, grandma, them. When you talk to your average person, white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise, your co-workers, you're like, no wonder the elites do what they do. It's too easy. It's too easy. And I'm saying that and tying that into my critique of Yanni by saying y'all make it too easy. Y'all make it too damn easy. This is scary. Yanni, I am not an Ivy League college graduate. I graduate from nobody's university. Mr. Z has his basic high school diploma, a couple of years of college, and YouTube, right? And a few years of conversations and wisdom from other brothers in the black manosphere. Obviously, experiences, real life experiences, and stuff I've read, and et cetera, et cetera. It can't be that easy for you in Kidology, and Sheir 7, and Cynthia G, and Bowser, and Chrissy to be that goddamn predictable. Dut Reacts says, I don't know how you keep listening to these women, Steve. It's like peeling a scab. That's why Charles says I'm masochistic. Faber says, who's Bowser? I would ask you to go on to BGS's community tab, scroll down some, and you'll figure it out. Right? I ain't gonna tell you who we're talking about. I'm not gonna say the name. You'll figure it out. Nobody put it in the comments. That is how we are speaking. And I've slipped up a couple of times and said this person's name after we started calling her Bowser. By the way, we're calling her Bowser because she called herself Bowser first. Right? She said that someone, either her boyfriend or her either one of her friends or boyfriend or somebody said, they see you as the final boss. You're kind of like Bowser. Either they said that, or she internalized it as she's Bowser to the black manosphere. Get out of here. Yawn. Right? Saint Cyr, I'm just saying. But you want to talk about putting your foot in your mouth. You would think you would be able to maneuver better. Here's a hint for you, right? Faber, here's a hint for you. You would think that you would be able to maneuver better as a Harvard graduate. to know better than to call yourself that. And there's a picture of you floating around. Are you sure? Is that your final answer? Are you sure you want to call yourself Bowser? Because there's a picture floating around with you with a green dress on, and I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart. Right? We all done put our foot in our mouth. See, you was trying to blow smoke up your own ass. And then you put a foot in your mouth. I don't think it's smart. Ill-advised. Oh, man. You know, and so we're going to end out. Look, Mrs. Z said that how long ago? Okay, moral of the story is, now y'all could put Real Talk with Yanni in on the Eugenics talk, right? Because now we're talking about essentially economic eugenics, I guess. Is that what y'all want? Or y'all want to say financial eugenics, right? Poor, broke people. She didn't even say poor. I'm sorry. If I said poor earlier, she said broke. Broke people shouldn't even be having sex. Don't think it's smart. As a black woman, I don't think statements like that are smart. A black woman born and raised in the U.S., from my understanding, Real Talk with Yanni is ADOS. I don't think it's smart. With black people's history in America, saying broke people shouldn't have sex is not smart. It's not smart, black women. I know y'all throwing temper tantrums because y'all not upper middle class white women. I get it. But it's not smart to say something like that. Right? You ain't even gonna read it out loud. I'm not even gonna read it. It's hysterical. Say it again. And Demetrius says, wasn't Yanni a broke ninja 5 years ago? Say it again. I told y'all this is B. Simone. The second these women start earning $1, I'm gonna tell you what I can't settle for. And who wants to be with Average anyway? Broke people shouldn't even be having sex. Ooh, you dusty. The second they start earning $1. Oh yeah, thank you, Joe. Broke ninjas don't deserve no cat. Forget $1. You give these women a penny, and they start talking to you about who's dusty. They earn a couple of dollars, then God forbid they're Bowser or Ebony K. Williams. They start telling you how you're mediocre and how their mom would slap them if they came home with you, if they came home with a bus driver. Thank you, Jake. And Jake says, economic eugenicist. Exactly. Jeez, y'all. Ooh, black women. Black women. This is not smart. With this country's history. With this country's history, I'm sorry, a bubble just distracted me for a little bit. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, you know when you're like, God damn. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Right? It's crazy because I caught it off of my peripheral. I wasn't even really looking in that direction. I was just like, wait a minute. I see a silhouette. Oh, that's by the way, Mr. Z does the same thing with cars, right? I see a silhouette. Oh man. Trust it. See going out like Umar. Oh man. But yeah, so it's just not smart. Look, black women, this is not smart. With this country's history, y'all be getting y'all too comfortable. Exactly, Trell. We must remain focused, right? Black women, this is not smart. Ugh, man. All right. And think Mr. Z is being hyperbolic. Think you didn't really say anything that serious or that egregious, Yanni. All right. Because if she ever come up on this video, I'm gonna be on top of hater. If she never heard of me before, which we don't know, gonna think I don't have a lady. I have a lady. Yeah, right. And I'm not broke, not right now. But that changed all of like 5 seconds ago, and I don't sound like you, right? Yeah, it's just not smart. So on that note, everyone, I'll end out right there. Real talk with Yanni. I don't think this is smart. Chrissy, I don't think it's smart. Paris only comes on to give her content, her subscribers and her followers. She now, she married, and you never know, she might be preggo for all we know. But yeah, she'll come up and do a late night stream and give her subscribers all type of rage prawn content, and the anger prawn content that they love, and then she'll go ghost, and maybe she'll delete it and maybe not. Boy, you looking like a thick Lupita. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, yeah, it's just not smart. It's not smart. It's not smart. Especially considering this country's history. Considering that black women are already aborting children at an alarming. Aren't they like the number one group of people in America that be aborting? It's not smart. Yeah, it's not smart. So. Mm-hmm. And on that note, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. So y'all don't sound like male versions of Yanni just talking. Just talking. And mocking a woman that seems to be happy with the man that she's with. She just want this dude to earn more money, and then you over here talking about karmic energy and right? Karmic energy and karmic debt, excuse me, and this is low maintenance mentality and act spoiled and all of this stuff that's just weird. Pretend like you high maintenance. Pretend like you're used to it. Saying he's acting incompetent, essentially like he's weaponizing his incompetence, right? Mocking this young lady because she might have some chemistry with this man. As I said before, who needs Adam Smith? Who needs Frederick Hayek? Who needs Milton Friedman? Who needs Ayn Rand? Who needs Margaret Thatcher? Who needs Ronald Reagan when you have people like Real Talk with Yanni? Trill, hysterical. Man. Right? Hysterical. Somebody stole your thunder earlier too, Trill. On my previous live, somebody mentioned Animal Farm, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly why Trill be referencing it, right? Because these women have truly become the pigs. By the way, ladies, I mean figuratively. I mean referencing the book Animal Farm. They truly have become the pigs. They truly have. Definitely rhetorically. Kind of sort of politically in the black community too. Right? So, y'all, like I said, go check out other Black Manosphere content, go read something, go watch a documentary or something, so y'all don't sound like male versions of Real Talk with Yanni. Um, I'm gonna go check out the video Demetrius tagged me in with Kidology. Oh my god. It shouldn't be that easy to predict what y'all on. Hey Princella, it shouldn't be that easy. It should not be that easy. It shouldn't be. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. Well, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out. All right, everybody.